I mean, you always like to have some kind of control in your team, and that was what Team Empire kind of needed. At least one hero does have some kind of crowd control abilities. Lion already gives you 2. Removes illusions too if Void decides to go for Manta. Because you want to have Manta or something to dispel like Bloodseeker's silence off.
This is going to sound really dumb, but Lion Wisp is going to look really good if they're playing from ahead, but it's going to look really bad if they're playing from behind. Like these 3 heroes at the moment, if they start to fall behind in the laning stage, it's going to feel so bad.
Yeah. I agree. I agree on that. They don't want another hero in that lineup that also kind of struggles from playing from behind. Like, talk about heroes like Slark and Lifestealer are definitely 2 heroes that you don't like playing when you're behind your opponent, you're losing objectives, and can't play the initiative gameplay. So I think both of those are also out of the equation now. Also, Underlord would make things a bit tough. It really depends on how Underlord's lane actually rolls out, because you do need someone to help you out to get like level 2 and level 3. Otherwise, you can just easily win your lane by driving him out before he hits level 2. Buy some time.
This is hard though, because what's going to happen is if Empire start falling behind in their laning stage, their game at the moment is all about finding pickoffs.
Well, they do go Slark anyway.
With like the Rupture and the
I guess
Impaler,
actually,
the Relocate on top and whatnot. But if they start to fall behind in the laning stage, Viking are just going to group up, and they have absolutely no team fight at the moment on Empire. And you're playing against like this Underlord with Pit and stuff. There's Chrono as well.
10 seconds to pick.
Like if I just look at these 4 on each team, if they just run at each other and like head on at the moment, Viking, I can't see them losing the fight. So Empire have to be playing around this pickoff game more, but that's difficult to do if you're playing from behind. I like the Slark pick; it's okay. They don't have a great ways of like controlling him up right now, apart from Chrono. So if they can like start playing quick, they don't have any cooldowns that they're reliant on really on Empire either.
Yeah,
because Rupture's such a low cooldown. But they can constantly look to just find pickoffs and +1s.
Do you like the snowball potential of Empire?
Kind of, but they don't take Roche that well. They don't take buildings that well. And they're playing into like Stroke of Fate power shot to clear waves. There's Underlord as well.
Yeah, that is very true. That wave clear is insane on Viking GG. At least some cheese picks. Yeah, the Brood ban makes sense. Get rid of some of that cheesy.
Boom likes playing the Brood as well. If he can get away with it. If it's a good game for it. So they both need mid heroes. Which is
mid heroes that hits buildings. I don't like. I really don't feel a sniper for Empire at all. Too easy to counter for Vikings last pick too. Yeah. They've only got a few seconds left, so yeah, more sturdier. Get a bit of front line. Work with vision gaming too. You want to have someone giving you a bit of movement vision and long range abilities. Plus with IO, I guess Conquer IO could work. Who does this IO really play with now? IO Slark?
Yeah, it's going to be IO Slark. But the Conquer again is another setup for the Relocate, and it actually gives them that team fight they were lacking. I do think Viking lack a little bit of damage, especially around the like 15 to 20 minute mark at the moment. Because like when this Conquer run buff goes down at that point in the game right now, like the damage reduction is going to be so big against the Viking heroes because they don't have that oomph right now. They need to pick something that gives them the oomph. That technical term
the oomph.
I'm coming through with.
Tell me about the oomph.
That's for another time.
That's for another time. All right. Still in the middle of the week. Shadow Fiend. All right. So that's going to give them a bit of flash farming and some damage dealing. So that's oomph. All right.
I thought about this, but because there were so many mid heroes that were banned, I was looking at my hero list to see what they might actually pick. And SF was one that I saw, and I was like, maybe, but probably not. But they actually go back for it. I mean, Boom is very good at this hero, and it is a hero that can damage into the Chronosphere as well, which is important. And it also lanes up okay against Kunkka. So as long as he doesn't lose the first few waves, really hard.
Yeah.
I'd be interested to see what item build he goes for though, because I imagine he goes for physical damage still, maybe like Drum's Lance or something. But unsure. He might just need to go Lance BKB actually, because I mean it's a really good BKB game.
Yeah,
But only
so much control on Empire's side that BKBs would be great on Viking GG. What about Empire? BKBs ain't really gonna save you from that much. There's a lot of wave clear, a lot of nuke. I think physical damage is still Viking GG's advantage.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is going to come down to how much this Bloodseeker can get done in the game, and like how well this mid matchup goes. Because if Kunkka starts to pull ahead here against the SF, like any +1 rotation from a Lion or something, they're just going to kill the SF every time when Kunkka hits 6. So I just don't. I don't really like this IO plus Lion support combo. They're so susceptible to just dying at the start of the fight. So I think the supports have to be really careful with their positioning, and I think there's a lot of pressure on the Bloodseeker and the Kunkka Sands though. I will say it's not the best Grimstroke game though. They have Underlord and Void that they can put the Ink Swell and things on.
Yeah.
And obviously the Stroke of Fate's really good wave clear and things with the Underlord and the Wind Ranger. The Silence is always going to be okay. But it's not like one of those games where I look at Grimstroke and I'm like, oh my god, this is a sick Grimstroke game. Where you have like an Ember or something, right?
Yeah. It's kind of like a few months ago when we just constantly saw Ember Spirit and Coddle. Because you knew that you can just constantly keep spamming those low cooldown abilities off. And also with like when you combine ultimates into people stacking up closer to each other. Any kinds of like AoE ultimates and stuff would really benefit that Ember Spirit a lot.
You're a trusty mate.
But that was with the Coddle. Like Coddle is completely different to IO. I like the idea of if Empire can actually snowball from their start. You did mention they really have a hard time taking down buildings, and also Roshan is difficult even with Kunkka. It's not the best, but it really puts a lot of fear onto Viking GG whenever they want to like leave the group and go and farm a lane, push a lane out, because they do have that wave clear. Grimstroke should be fine, Wind Ranger should be fine, but Underlord, if Underlord doesn't have like a really stellar early game, he can be an easy target to pick off every time he shows up.
Yeah, I mean, Empire have to be playing from ahead. If they fall behind at all this game, I think the game's really difficult for them. And we have to say as well that coming into this group stage, Empire are 2 and 4, Viking are 7 and 1.
Yep.
So if you were going to be, you know, putting bets down on who you thought would win based on that alone, it's pretty one-sided.
I think my mini-map is bugged. Hang on, let me get that. There we go. All right, UI fixed. Don't worry, viewers. Had an extra large mini-map, so we had our UI going on top of each other's for a bit. Viking stealing 3 runes. Empire gets 1.
They sent 3 heroes down bot on the Radiant side, and they only took 1 rune there. So I don't really know what they were trying to achieve by sending the Lion down, but yeah. Oh, nice high five.
Is that some kind of worth?
Does he have Midas queued up on Void? Yeah, he does. Okay.
Yeah. I guess he can still maybe try and shift from Power Treads to the Midas, but I guess you still need to go Midas anyway. Viking GG, you're strongest in the mid game.
I mean, people have been doing different builds. Some people have gone like Mask of Madness. Some people go Midas. You sometimes even see Battle Fury if you're going for the Ags as well to help you like flash farm and things. But it tends to be against like illusion heroes and things. This SF is laying the hurt onto the Kunkka mid lane already, by the way. Sound like already having to pop a salve.
Yeah, I think this is like the time for SF to really show who's the alpha on the server, because once Kunkka starts racking up those bracers, it will become difficult for SF to try and drive the Kunkka out of lane. So he really needs to show that dominance early.
Nice, well played by the Slark in block lane to stop the pull coming through. That's nice.
It's pretty important that they actually keep control of that hard camp.
This lane's going to be coming towards the Dire side, though, in the bot side. So, like, this is really good for them. Because now that Wind Ranger can just leave the lane if she needs, and just let the Underlord get all the XP. Which it looks like Aramis is kind of, like, hanging around, but I guess he wants his own level 2, though, as well.
Tiny bit of brawling in top as Ducklow and Shad were competing with that hard camp pull. That actually does get the bigger last hits from the Centaur, so that's extra dosh.
So Sunlight was standing in mid yesterday for Empire, I don't think if he's their official mid laner or something now, but I assume he's just standing in again for them. They had some. I can't remember. Their mid player was called something else. He had a really long name, and it was really weird. But I can't remember what it was.
Very long and very weird.
So, I'm gonna find what it is because it made me laugh so much at the time. Okay, you just cast. I'll just do dodgy things instead.
You do your thing. That's why
oh
you're
yeah, here you go. Natty Narwhal.
Wait, what?
Yeah, that was their mid laner's name.
Can you copy paste that to me? Oh. Just want to take
Here you go.
I just want to take a glimpse at it.
I'm finding it again.
Seiyu and Celery dueling a little bit here with the keeps and also the spells, just throwing them back and forth. Natty Narwhal, yeah, that's the one.
Oh,
actually, Lightless gets a kill, but is he gonna fall down to Aramis?
Oh,
That's a good trade.
Oh, he's gonna die.
Oh, and he gets a double. Nice one. He reached that power shot.
Oh, that's a disaster for Radiant side. Now Aramis is just almost level 4 at 3 minutes into the game. Yeah, like they get the Underlord kill, but it's just not worth it. And the Wisp has no TP to get back to lane either.
Oh.
So he's gonna have that slow walk all the way.
That's a long walk of shame. Slark is gonna. I think Aramis's move here is just bully Lightless out of the lane.
Like Slark has 9 CS bot lane. Kunkka has 11 CS mid lane. Like Boom's owning. He's 20 and 9 to the Kunkka's 11 and 1.
Yeah.
He has 14 souls already as well.
Nice play with the Fortify as well. You saw Sunlight throwing in the Torrent, walking in straight towards the range creep. Boom's like, nope, I'm gonna lift this entire wave. There's a denied haste rune, Seiyu. 200 HP, but Celery unable to finish off the Lion.
He's level 5 now on the SF as well, so the Kunkka has to be so careful. Oh, he has no mana for the last raise. Oh!
Yep, not enough. Pretty close. Yeah, he's still showing dominance, and there he goes! Look at that. Turn around with a mango and slap that raise in the face.
Yeah, Kunkka didn't see the
been demolished.
He didn't see the extra mango come out in the courier, and the SF raise damage was about to expire top lane as well.
They might look for a kill in shock though. The Inkswell stun. There is backup arriving. It's going to be Seiyu. Land that stun. Shad looking for a bash.
It's not bashing.
Slows her. Yeah, one, two, no. Just. Well, now he bashes the Lion instead. Almost actually gets a kill on him.
Just saving it for the Lion. It's fine.
Yeah. Calculated save. Nothing wrong there.
SF going to take one of the bounty routes. Bot and Aramis actually. I don't know whose bottle this is. Is it Aramis's or is it the Underlords? Oh, it's actually Aramis's.
It's actually. Wait, is it?
Yeah.
Funny. Yeah, it doesn't actually show anything on the bottles who owns it, because usually there was like a text on it. But I guess.
It says the text if it belongs to somebody else that's holding it. Lion top lane as well.
Yeah.
Bash.
Oh, come on, come on, come on. Get that Lion. Slap him. Hex in the face. Inkswell to get that extra movement speed to walk away. No jump available. Get that jump stun.
Look at the CS mid lane though. It's actually he's actually getting demolished on Sunlight. It's not close.
Yeah, it's not a close game anymore.
Bot lane as well, Lightless.
Oh, getting some decent heals from Eknard, but I don't think it's gonna last long enough for him. Still level 4. One power shot from Aramis, but he's out of mana. Might just fill the bottle in the trees. No, just gonna hold it for now. A little bit of baiting. Good trading there from Viking GG though, because even if Slark was getting stacks, he's level 4. It doesn't really do much with those stacks. If it was level 6, it would be different. Meanwhile, there's a hunt going on in top. They're trying to find the Bloodseeker in the trees. Shad. Oh, he.
Oh, they see him.
The courier goes down though. DP's available. I love this Veils pickup on the Bloodseeker.
Yeah, this is the standard build. You go Veil before boots.
Build, yeah.
And then you get boots. And so the thing is, the Veil isn't just magic amp, it's actually spell amp. So like everything from the Radiant side, like I don't know if it works on Tidebringer actually, that's a good question, but all the spells from the Radiant side are all gonna get amped by the Veil. It's gonna be wacky.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good question. Does it actually affect Torrent because it comes in waves? And now they're gonna make a move onto the Windranger. X marked up. Torrent to connect with the Dark Pact. The stun will be removed. And Aramis will go down, so the rotation from the Conquer pays off. Meanwhile, Shadow Fiend, does Boom actually get to take this tower? Does a pretty decent amount of damage, at least, with his right clicks, but they will use a glyph.
Worth pointing out as well before that you actually got a regen rune at 6 minutes on SF, and I don't really want to look at net worth because I feel like he's going to be on the top by a little way.
Yeah.
But they've stemmed the bleeding a little bit on Empire in comparison to like how it was going at the start of the game. But like I was saying, if they fall behind at all, I think the game's really hard for them, and they're already behind. So
yeah. Yeah, I agree
they need
on
to play
that.
with this. Yeah, they need to play with this Bloodseeker level 6 when he gets there. That's going to be really big. It's like Rupture versus Chrono here.
Yeah, Shat needs like one more creep for level 6. There we go. So they have Chrono. They could get a good stun lock with Inkswell into Chrono, into maybe another Lucky Basher or so, but they won't make their move yet. Slark hits level 6 in bottom meanwhile, so Lightless is going to get that health regen to kick in. Though he's not doing that bad, to be honest. Like 3,100 in net worth, only 200 gold behind the Faceless Void, who is building his Midas right now. For Shaklo, Chrono will be used in top while there's a fight going on in bottom at the same time. Can they kill off? Lion will go down. Shaklo will survive. Eknart runs out with 140 HP, so no kills in bottom, only the Lion, and that's your Chrono used.
Wisp got really, really low. It was so close. But yeah, I don't mind this play, but the fact they don't get anything from Chrono is really sad. Right, up in the top lane. That's the... like, they get the Lion, but that's not the kill that you want. You want, like, something... Like, you want the Void to rotate bot and kill the Slark or something. Yes, a kill's a kill for the Void on his first Chronosphere, but...
Yeah, I was thinking the same, too. Like, shouldn't you just TP bottom and go with the team, have 3 people, maybe 4 people, get an objective, like push the tower down or something? Make Slark's life a bit harder?
Maybe they feel at the same time like Void's this... If he has a good game, he's like this unkillable hero this game, I think. Like, when he gets a BKB, he's going to be so difficult for them to deal with. He's going to go like Treads, Midas... maybe like he's going to go MKB or BKB at some point. He might go for something just before, but...
Sunlight takes an awkward amount of damage from Boom. Shaklo is here. Rupture will be used. SF will use his ulti to zone them away. The fear will connect. Now he's just chilling. Just chilling. There's backup coming in, though. It is Io. It also Sayu coming in. Boom. He is tanky. 1,400 HP. Aram is coming with a power shot. They won't be able to save this Shadow Fiend. Come on. Come on. They can't even get the SF down. They do get the stun from Shaklo, but Sayu, can he get it? Yes, they can. Lightless finally gets the final kill, and Toby, it's a bit late for the party. Just throwing the root, but that was a team effort from Empire, and they finally got it down.
Yeah, they wouldn't have killed the SF there if it wasn't for the Bloodseeker having Thirst to be able to see him through the invis as well, which would have been absolutely hilarious if they didn't find the kill in the end. But yeah, well played. They do get the SF kill, which is like the biggest kill they can find on the map at the moment. I think he was having such a good time. But now the problem is the Whisper and the Void are both like having good games still. And the supports on the Dire side are so far ahead. Like, look at Aramis's net worth. What does he have coming out in Korea? He's just got Wand.
Yeah. Like, not one of those pub games where your Windranger just decides to skip boots and go MKB as a support. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, who was it that put that? Somebody put a tweet up yesterday, didn't they?
Wasn't that Blitz who put it, or was it? Wait, I can't remember who actually put it. But I remember seeing that tweet, and I was like, "Yep, I feel you." Shaklo, power shot. Yep. 4 points in power shot from a Windranger. That's going to be plenty of damage to go through Bloodseeker's armor. The Seeker wasn't really taking that much damage from Shad's right clicks because he doesn't have any damage items yet. But when you've got Windranger with that power shot maximized, that will do a lot of damage. No matter how much armor you have, it just doesn't care about it.
And this TP rotation by Viking as well is so good because they play not only to get the kill with the Chrono, but they also have a catapult wave. So they now get a free tier on top of the kill.
I guess this
and all of a
was
sudden
what
it's a
they were
5k net worth advantage. Like, these supports are getting so much more from the map on the Viking just from the rotations they're having.
Yeah, I think that
they're
was
both level 7.
Calculating 2 minutes ahead of time. Like, yeah, we got our catapult now with the Chrono again. Boom. Relocate is coming in. cancelled.
Oh, really? They got cancelled.
Yeah, they're not coming. I think was that the the Underlord actually cancelled them from coming with the pit. Aram is going very low on HP. Boom coming to help out. Still can't get that ulti to go off. Aklo's still thinking about round number 2, but spell's already used.
I think it was the Pit of Malice that cancelled
The Pit of Malice. Yeah, I was looking.
Right,
I actually jumped to the bot lane to look at Underlord, and it did use Pit of Malice.
Dude, you're so smart. I mean, oh.
I try.
Catch all these things on camera. I'm falling behind.
I mean, these are the things, like, if you caught that would be awesome. For me, there's a fight going. I'm jumping on another lane looking like, oh, did he use a spell? Could have just clicked the hero portrait, but, you know, I'm getting rid of the rust. Just scraping it off my hands.
I was saying this to D-Drop yesterday, that I feel like I've started trying to, like, learn obs and play by playing things. And every time I miss a kill now, even as an analyst, I get really angry. Because I'm like, oh, this isn't very good. Even though it's not like my, like, not what I see that they see on stream, I still get annoyed at myself.
Remember, actually last year, I used to co-cast for Drag and Drop when we did, like, Epicenter or something. And I think the funny part was when he asked me to come as an analyst, I would go in team fights when he would go with his play-by-play. He'd be like, oh, Chrono, yeah. You know, like, I would actually say, like, actual words and things that were happening, but it kind of sounded like that to him in his ears. And every time I did a sound, he would pause.
Was that just because you didn't know what was going on, though?
No, because he told me in the break, like, stop doing that. I was like, okay. I haven't done co-casting ever since. It's actually funny when I talk with you that you've been practicing play-by-play. I should be your analyst and trigger the hell out of you when you're play-by-play casting.
Oh, I don't mind. If anybody wants to do my job for me and makes me do less, you know, I'm just chilling.
Yeah, it's because sometimes I just can't shut up, you know.
They take the top tier 1 on Empire, by the way. Again, they've done this thing where they...
And they get Grimstroke here. They're actually turning it around to throw the ultimate, connecting with Lion and Conker, keeping them away. But Viking GG, they just disengage. Yeah, it looked like they might have had more manpower behind that tower when Conker threw his X mark. So I guess that was just a reactionary ultimate. Like, there might be the entire team. Because the last time they took a fight, it did come with a relocate that had to be cancelled by the Underlord. This time they didn't see where they were, so...
What's he going on Underlord as well? He's actually gone yours first. Okay. I don't mind that too much. The Crimson's going to be really nice as well.
Wait,
we talked about their lack of damage a little bit on the Radiant side. When this Crimson comes through, it's going to make it.
Yeah, he just changed Crimson to Solar Crest. Minus armor. Yeah, I was thinking about, like, we thought about the physical damage aspect here for Viking GG, that's their advantage. So I think definitely... Wait. X-Mark's already out. Yeah, X Mark's out, so he's going home. Yeah, with the Solar Crest, you can definitely buff up this Faceless Void a lot more. Minus armor too. It gives them Roshan too with that Solar Crest, because it doesn't look like there's anybody else in their team that could actually carry it. Now we got a BKB on SF before the lance.
And this is something I was going to say. So I thought he would go BKB second item after like a lance or something, but he wants it really early this game. And now he's the strongest hero on the map by far because he has a BKB. Like, nobody can touch it, basically.
All right, well, they're charging towards Sunlight. He's hiding in the trees, but did he actually show himself? I'm not sure if the fog shows there.
They want to play off this catapult wave again and get a kill around mid to take the tier 1 with the catapult
That's
wave.
still a smoke, and Celery smoke is revealed, so now Sunlight is feeling threatened.
The problem they have is they don't have great initiation unless the Void's there with them. Because there's no jump. Nobody has a blink. Nobody has, like, this instant initiation. It's really awkward for Viking to try and find fights without Chrono.
Oh,
they need to, like... Yeah, they need to have, like, this lucky... Not lucky, necessarily, but, like, the shackle come through that catches Empire by surprise.
One funny factor here is Empire's not actually playing with a snowball. I mean, not that they ever actually got to do it. Knowing that Viking GG with, like, Shadow Fiend, they can just flash farm and kind of keep up with the pace, even if they were losing objectives. They haven't really lost more than just 2 towers in 16 minutes. It's not bad. It could be worse. When you think about Slark, IO, Bloodseeker, and the Conko also, who can just dish out a lot of damage early on. But I think mostly thanks to Boom, they've been able to hold that much ground. How well they're keeping up with Viking GG.
There's going to be a Meteor Hammer soon on the Wind Ranger, by the way, which should be a good laugh.
Ooh, spicy.
Just again, it's pretty standard for a lot of the position 4s at the moment. I know people like building up Phoenix and stuff as well.
Yeah.
But it's going to make a big difference when that level 4 shackle comes out with the hammer as well. Like, the shackle duration is crazy when you get to like 3 and 4 points in it.
Seeker going Yules. Yules Veil. Toby's threatening Empire with his existence here in this lane.
Top lane.
Get this chrono kill though. Should be, yep. Should be enough. Haunter flowing in.
And normally these like plays for like chrono and stuff just to find single kills wouldn't be great, but because the tempo of the game is so slow at the moment, it's fine. Because I mean, Viking are quite happy with the way that the game's going right now. I don't think they should feel forced to make anything happen. Like, the Void's farming really well, SF's doing okay.
Yeah.
He's got BKB first, which is a bit annoying if the game's slow. But at the same time, it's like, well, we're eventually going to win this game, we feel, with the heroes that we have.
Yeah.
And I think the problem is Empire, they want to be able to make the plays, but their lanes are constantly being shoved towards them, especially this mid lane. So somebody has to constantly deal with it. They're finally going to make a smoke play here.
Yeah.
But
just about to say that. I like that this move is happening now from Empire because they know the chrono's down. There's an MKB picked up by the Faceless Void, but they should have the damage with these three. They've got Finger, they've got both. They have Solar Crest on Kunkka. Now they just need to make it count. Good scan. There's some panicky pings coming in from the Void. They know to dodge this. Boom's just waiting. Yeah, okay, well, that was a good idea, but I feel like Viking GG is like one step ahead.
I mean, Viking knows this is happening because nobody's showing in mid to push the wave out, which they have been constantly doing for like 10 minutes now on Empire. So as soon as they stop pushing out mid, they're like, oh, where have they gone?
They're still coming, though, even though they don't have any smokes up anymore. Pretty low vision for Viking GG if you look at the map, that they only have this one mid ops ward, pretty much.
Hot lane.
But Toby gets out.
Oh.
But the pounce ends up hitting the Pit of Malice.
Very unfortunate.
Vikings, they're just celebrating right now. SF just farming in mid. These three guys are still trying to hunt for kills, waiting for bounty runes to spawn. Get 2 for 2. Vikings just ditching this bot lane. Like, you're hitting a tier 1 tower. We can get your mid tier 1 tower. We can pressure your top tier 2.
And it's so difficult for them to get on top of this Underlord to stop him from doing this.
Yeah, even if they can't even get to him. Dark Pact used by Lightless on the run. Aramis doesn't want to reveal himself just quite yet.
Cronus up in 2.
It's a power shot actually towards the jungle because they've spotted the Lion and they have Chrono ready on the Faceless Void, but the Rupture will connect onto Toby. Boom, blowing up some right-click damage. Aramis throws the Meteor Hammer just to keep Toby safe.
I mean, Boom's just baiting here. He knows he has his Void behind him with a Chronosphere, so if Boom gets got him while he has BKB Lance, like, he's not dying.
They're still going at it. The cores are pretty far away from the supports, but if Underlord can get something to happen here, Sunlight, very alone. Doesn't have any teammates to help him out. He gets used into the air, and he's just going to get nuked here. Boat to connect on Toby. Toby taking a lot of damage. Shot goes in with a Chrono, and he's got the IO. He's got the Slark inside it too, and Slightless is in really big trouble here. They're just going to ignore the Slark for now. He does pop his ultimate. Tries to TP away. Not going to happen. Not today. When Aramis is there, 3 heroes gone from Empire. And Mike and GG, they are running on top of him. 12,000 gold ahead.
I love how patient Shadow was there in the backline. The only way they lose the fight in Viking is if Void dies before they get Chrono off.
Yeah.
So they just bait out the Underlord and the SF at the front of the fight because they understand how strong and tanky they are. Like, SF has 2,200 HP with BKB Lance and Pupil's Give. And Underlord has set like 1,800 HP with yours and Solar Crest. They're not going to die.
Yeah.
There's no damage on the Radiant side unless they like throw all their spells onto one hero.
I think the biggest question that's rolling in my head right now, if we go to where we saw that fight, I'm going to draw it to you on the ground. Why does the Kunkka go here when the rest go here? Was it just because of the Void threat? because he just left himself completely alone, surrounded by Viking GG heroes. And then he draws the rest of his own team into the bait that was set by Viking GG. But can they get to Boom? Darklo throws in the rupture. DKB popped by Boom, TP away. Yeah.
See you later, nerds.
See you later, nerds.
Viking don't really want to fight until they have Chrono back up again, so they're just going to go back to farming. And the Void almost has BKB as well.
Well, they're going to go to Roche. Lightless hitting it down first.
They need to try and force something to happen while Chrono's not. It's like the best chance in the game they have. If they lose one more fight, and especially while Chrono's not up, they're going to be real sad.
X-Mark, Torrent onto Toby. Silence connecting on Sunlight. Lightless forces the Yules of the Underlord. There's also the Grimstroke ultimate onto Lightless, but there's nobody else there. It doesn't actually connect on anyone. Oh no, but oh. Shaq jumping in. Shakla should be going down on the Bloodseeker, while Toby's already hunting for the next target, and it's going to be Eknard.
Nice Shackle as well.
Nice X-Torrent backwards. And there we go. The Meteor Hammer finally catches him. Eknard and Shaklo down Sunlight. Being chased by Shad. There's also a Celery throwing in the slows, and Kunkka's just getting slapped by golems and maces and everything. And now Lightless. Yeah, GG. They've had enough of this show.
I just don't see at what point in the game Empire win with this draft unless they come out of lanes like massively ahead. And this Kunkka got absolutely destroyed mid. But top lane was kind of a draw. Bot lane was slightly dire favored, I would say. I mean, top lane was slightly dire favored as well. But again, they have this massive problem with the wave clear where their two supports don't push lanes in. And they're so reliant on the Bloodseeker and the Kunkka being the one that shove lanes in on the Radiant, right? And if you're in that position where those two cores, who are supposed to be the ones that are making plays on the map, are also the ones having to deal with lane shove, then you can't ever do anything in the game. You're like in this really awkward position.
Yeah, like I had those like those thoughts for Empire that the way that they rolled out their early game, if Boom wasn't playing such a if he didn't have like such a great time in his mid lane, I guess Empire could have punished Viking GG more, like if they managed to shut down the SF. I think they got a bit lucky that Viking GG decided to use their Chronos on the top lane instead of shutting down the Slark. But what would have been the difference if the Bloodseeker actually had a good game instead of the Slark having a decent game?
I don't know, it's still really difficult. Like, who does he rupture?
Yeah.
Okay, you can rupture the SF, which is what he did, right?
Yeah.
But then there's no other, like, there's no follow-up to come through. Because you need the relocate to come through the +1, but Slark can't kill these heroes in the early stages of the game. Like, he has Echo Saber, but there's, I mean, Shackle you have to worry about. There's Inkswell. This Underlord's just shitting at the front of every single fight.
Yeah.
And they don't have ways of dealing with those heroes, and they can't make plays on the map. So I feel like it was just, it was like a slow burner death, that game.
Well, we'll see if anything changes for game number 2. We're going to take a tiny breather break here, and we'll be back after the ads.